All right, hello, hello. Just gonna wait a couple minutes as people are getting on. I hope you're all having a really great Wednesday. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to play with you today. And we're just gonna wait until I can see a couple of faces come up, just so I know we're live and everything's okay. All right. Gonna grab my tablet so that I can see where I'm placing the camera. Oh, I can see some people coming on. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. All right, we are going to get started. We are going to play with some Aqua Pigments today. And I'm so excited. These are so much fun and they are great products. These are the most versatile things I can think of. So I'm just going to say hi one more time before I switch the camera over. And so bear with me for just a second while I make you all seasick.
Sarah Bryan says hi.
Hi. Who was that?
Tara.
Tara, hi. Okay, it'll give me just a second. There's a little delay, so I'm hoping that I've got everything lined up okay. I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best for a second until I can see it on my tablet. But anyway, as I was saying, we're going to use some Aqua Pigments today, and these are, they come in a bottle like this, and this is one of the most extensive collections of product that Brutus Monroe offers. There are tons in this collection. You can get them singly, you can get them in sets. There's actually an Aqua Pigment of the Month club. It's $10, that includes the shipping, and you can get an exclusive color every month. So there's all kinds of options with them, but they're a water-based color and they work great for watercoloring. Today we're going to use them for backgrounds. And another product that I just recently discovered is
June
this.
says hi.
Hi, June.
Katie's watching.
Hi, Katie. So this is called Pixie Spray, and it is the most amazing invention. I just love it. We're going to use some on this. This is Aqua Pigment paper. I don't mean to throw all these products at you all at once, but just so you know, this is Aqua Pigment paper. It's a watercolor paper, and this is really awesome. This paper, it can take so much stuff. I love it. As you can see, because I'm all out. I just had to order some because I'm using it up like crazy because I like it so much. So anyway, what you do with the Pixie Spray is you can spray it on... Hi, Sandra. You can spray it on your stencil, and it'll keep your stencil...
Margaret, John.
Hi, Margaret. This Pixie Spray makes your stencil just sticky enough that you can go ahead and you can stick it down on your surface, if you can get a hold of your paper. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that right on my paper. And I haven't noticed a lot of residue or anything left on the paper.
Sherry says hi.
Hi, Sherry. It does leave a little bit on the stencil, but it doesn't leave it on the paper that I have noticed. So what I'm going to do is I just buy these little bottles really cheap. I think these ones are from like Dollar Tree. And sometimes you can get them like this one, some of the more crafty ones. I have a little collection going because I saved them. This one was squeaky clean, but I went through that so fast that I actually have this jar now. So I used this for spray as well. So we are going to start when you're using, oh, and by the way, I guess I should tell you. So let me show you how these work. These are kind of like little eyedroppers, as you can see from the lid. Little tricky to get into, but once you get them open, Karen, hi Karen. You just go ahead and squeeze it just like an eyedropper. And I was pretty free with my color. I used, let's just add a little bit to this. Well, I have plenty there. So I used a whole squirtful, maybe a squirtful and a half, and then just a little bit of water to dilute it just a little, but I want the color to be somewhat strong. So just depending on the depth of the color that you want, that's how much water you're going to put in your little spray bottle. So the nice thing about having the Pixie Spray on your stencil is it's going to hold it down tight enough to your paper that it won't bleed so much. Now, if you have a lot of water, I'm not going to promise it won't bleed at all, but for what we're doing today, it's not super imperative. If it does bleed a little, we're all going to be okay. You know, I like to do something that has some forgiveness. So we're going to just start spraying kind of along the edge first. And I'm going to just go ahead and take a paper towel and blot it right back up again, especially along the edges.
Debbie's on.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining, everyone. Is everyone having a good Wednesday? It's my first week back at my regular job, and I was pretty glad to get through Wednesday. I love my job, but it's definitely an adjustment to come back. Okay, so now we'll add a few more colors. So this one was yellow. It looks like this. It came in the first collection. And now we're going to go to, let's do some coral. So I think I have my coral bottle here too. I might not. Oh, there it is. So this is, nope, that's red. I knew it was here somewhere. So here is the coral. Who is?
Amy Jacobs.
Hi, Amy. How you doing, friend? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just spray a little bit of this.
Rosanna was dry.
Who did?
Donna and Rosanna.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Rosanna. This one I have watered down a little bit more, so I'm just kind of getting a little bit of that color on there. And again, this is going to be a very forgiving card, so we don't have to be too stressed. See, I think it's bleeding underneath a little bit, and that is okay because it's not going to be a big deal on this particular card. It's going to be a loosey-goosey kind of card. Okay, so now I've got some orange. I don't think I need to show you the bottle again. I think you're probably sick of looking at it. So we'll just add a little bit of orange in there. And I'm going to let that soak a little bit longer. We'll just get some of the excess off the sides so it doesn't bleed more than it has to. And it's not going to matter because after we're going to add even more to all of that. All right. So if you do want to do it so that it doesn't bleed so much, you could just really control your watercolor. You could do it with a brush and just really make sure that your brush doesn't have a lot of excess water on it, and then go over the top of your stencil. But like I said, this one's just a loosey-goosey, fun, easy, and quick card. So now we're going to use our red. And actually what I should have been doing this whole time is using my ugly bin. That's my spray bin. It would have probably saved a little mess, but hey, live and learn. Okay, so now it's going to start getting really fun. All right. So we've got the beginnings of our card here. And I am going to dry it a little bit underneath because I'm sure we've got a little bit of moisture under there. But the nice thing is I can just tack it right back over the top. It's pretty forgiving. So now, actually I want to get just a little bit more of the moisture out, because what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and we are going to use, this is embossing ink. We're going to use that right over the top of our stencil. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just kind of talking on. Sorry, I haven't really left a lot of...
Taking care of him so far.
Okay, thanks. Darren is such a great moderator. And Benji had the time of his life last week, just so you know. And thank you so much for all of the kind comments. You totally made his day. That kid was feeling pretty good about himself. He's a natural little host. He did awesome. Okay. So I should tell you, this card is going to be really girly. But I was just thinking, it was my mom's birthday this past week, and she passed away a while back, but I still think of her, of course, and I miss making her cards because she was one of the most gracious card receivers you can imagine, and one of the most gracious gift receivers in general. She was just, it was always fun to give her something. I could hardly, most of the time I couldn't wait. I would just end up giving it to her early because I had such a hard time being patient.
Donna says thanks. Donna says thanks.
Thanks for... You're welcome, but I'm not sure what the thanks was for. Okay, so on the first card that I did, I'll show you 2 different ways to do this. So,
No, I sent her a link. That's what
oh, you sent her a link. Okay, Darren's throwing me off here. Okay, I have to confess, this is called Glass Slipper, and it's not... It was available... This was from an inspiration box a couple of months ago from Brutus Monroe. I know it's going to be available, but it's not on the website yet. So if you fall in love with this, just know it will come. It's not available quite yet, though. So we are just going to add this sparkle to our butterfly. And we'll see how that goes. We are going to emboss this. I don't know if everybody watching has embossed before, but it is one of my favorite things because it just is so magical. So usually I would use like an embossing buddy or something that would keep the embossing powder only where I want it. But because it's kind of wet, I didn't do that. I probably could have. But we're just going to use this paintbrush to kind of get some of our embossing powder off. When I said loosey-goosey, I'm in it on this one. This one is definitely not my usual control freak way. We're just, bear with me for just a second more while I try to get some of the excess off. Hope everybody is doing well.
Aaron Drake has joined.
Hi Aaron, how you doing? How is newlywed life? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna heat that up. And watch this transform. It's already pretty and it's not even heated up yet. I don't know if you can start to see the transformation. This is called Glass Slipper, yes. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay, you'll probably have to forgive me for a minute if I don't respond to comments, as I might not hear Darren very well for a second.
Pete Simpson says hi from
Who did?
UK. Pete Simpson.
Hi Pete, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Pete makes amazing cards, let me just tell you. He does some very fancy, beautiful work. Okay, so you can see it's starting to, it gives some more depth to the color. So anyway, anyway, what I was saying was I made this card thinking of my mom because she just liked pretty things and it was so feminine. It was just reminded me of her. Not sure if you can hear me over the heat tool. I think we almost have it.
You can hear it fine.
Okay, just about have it. So you just can kind of hold it up and you can see if the powder's all melted or not. You don't want to hold it in one spot for too long or else you'll end up with a big brown spot. So I actually don't mind this. You can see, like I said, it's loosey-goosey, which isn't my normal, but I like it. And I actually have kind of decided I might do something a little different than I was going to because I'm kind of liking the way this looks. So if you wanted to add some spray, you can go ahead and add more spray. Let me grab some of that. I moved it all over to this side. So honestly, I'll show you what I did on the sample, and then I'll show you this one. So on the sample, I used Alabaster Sparkle for the embossing powder. And then I thought, oh, I'm just going to see what it would look like more translucent, which I'm really digging this one too. So we could just add, I just added, I don't even know how long I've had these pearls. I have to tell you, I just went through my stash. I think I've had them since, well, Sue, if you're watching, I don't know, you may watch the replay, but this I bought at Scrapbook Expo, I think 7 years ago. So, you know, time to maybe use that up. Do you guys have anything like that you hoard forever and then finally you give in? So we could add a big one here, or we could add one of the smaller ones, but mostly this is going to be a backdrop. And what I did right here is I just sprayed. That's all it is. It's simply just spraying watercolors. I don't know if I want to spoil that. I really like it. We'll just try doing a little bit. Hopefully I won't regret that. Do you ever do that? You couldn't leave well enough alone? I've felt that way many times. But sometimes that makes me more cautious than I want to be. Because you don't want to be too conservative, because then you don't get all the fun either. So yeah, I want to loosen that up a little bit more. And again, this is a lot preference on this. I like having a little bit more color in the background, but honestly, I don't want to take too much away from our center point. So I'm just going to let that dry. And most of the time when I do something and it gets really wet, I have 2 large acrylic blocks. And I will just grab those, and I will grab... Oh, I didn't even take those out.
Sherry said she likes it.
Aw, thanks, Sherry.
And she has tons of supplies.
See, you just got to remember to use them if you're anything like me. I struggle to... For a long time, I think I just would hoard them because I just didn't want to use them before I was ready. It had to be something so special, but then you end up... They go out of date or whatever. So this is how I usually will dry something like this. And that usually will take the moisture out and take care of it. I usually will let it dry for a couple hours. But anyway, I'll just show you a couple of other things you can do. So one thing I did with the Aqua Pigments, and I didn't spray it, I just flicked it. Just over and over and over again. I wanted to give kind of an underwater fill. So I just flicked all of my water until it just blended out and looked really cool. And I just kept getting it wet and blending it over and over. And look at that nice watery underwater fill. And this little guy is the stamp of the month this month. I think he is so cute. Let me show you a little closer. Cute little turtle and baby turtle. And the stamp of the month is awesome. It's like $5 and it includes the shipping. The Aqua Pigment Club of the month is like $10. That includes the shipping. Let's see. Let's go to... So there is a new June release that has a really pretty background stamp. And it's like I can't remember the exact dimensions on it. I'm guessing it's close to 6 by 6, maybe not quite that large, but it's a big square. And it does the coral reef. And so I actually sprayed first. You can tell easier on this. You can see the different sprays. And then I went over it, after it was completely dry, I went over it with Copics and just colored them in and gave them a little bit more definition. Just another fun way to use them. And it was fun that I could get more than one card out of the same panel. Really pretty. Darren, if you get a chance, you might want to look up that background and link it. It's the coral. And then another one, I don't know if you can see, oops, I forgot to attach that guy. So this one, this little shaker card that I made, I'm going to take that off for a minute so you can see. This was a white piece of paper that I stamped the background on. And then I actually just did a little bit of the Aqua Pigment spray, just a little bit along the bottom, and kind of let it fade out at the top. And I did that after I had already colored them. These are all colored in Copics, and I did that after, and I wasn't sure what it would do with the alcohol ink. I wasn't sure what water would do with that. But on this, I don't think it did anything crazy. And I liked that it gave it kind of, some of the stuff looks like it is underwater. So kind of a fun little effect there. And I think that's probably just about it. They are great. If you just need something simple and fast to do a background, that's a great way to go. They'd be great to use on a gel press. They'd be great to use even when you just want to watercolor and make pretty, when you're not doing backgrounds, when you want to actually color the image. But yeah, the Aqua Pigments, this is hands down my favorite product that Brutus Monroe sells. So, does anybody have any questions or anything? I feel like I talked your ear off. Oh, here's the card one more time. These are just die cuts. Again, I just went through my stash, grabbed a few things, and it's fun to do that. I would challenge each of you to just go through your stash and just make something based on your stash even, just to get it out the door into somebody else's hands. Well, thank you so much for joining me. No questions or anything, Darren?
No, people said pretty gorgeous. Pete said great color work.
Oh, thank you so much, Pete. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. This was a fun card to make. And like I said, it's kind of a nice feminine one. I really enjoyed making it. And again, I want to see if you go ahead and you use up your stash, tag me or message it to me, because I want to see what you make with your stash this week. And I will be back again next week, same time, and we'll do this again. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Sherry asked. You're done now,
Oh, I didn't quite catch it, but I'll catch her.